Now, for 3 years, China has kept its borders shut, imposing a strict regime of lockdowns and relentless testing to keep coronavirus out. Earlier this month, though, Beijing then abruptly changed course, and international travel is now days away from restarting just before the Lunar New Year. It's one of the world's largest annual human migrations, and it's making some nations nervous. Liz Maddock reports.
After 3 years, people across China are on the move again. With newfound freedom, they're hurrying to board planes and trains. As COVID restrictions have been lifted, they can travel freely domestically and in just over a week can set their sights internationally.
I think it's great. Everyone here is quite supportive of this policy. They should indeed open up. I'm going back to my hometown now. I can finally go home. It's great.
Not everyone is welcoming. The country of 1.4 billion has low vaccination levels, little natural immunity, and is experiencing its biggest outbreak of the pandemic. So several countries, including India, the US, South Korea, Spain and Italy, moved swiftly to announce restrictions on arrivals.
The South Korean government will restrict the issuance of short-term visas from China, refrain from short-term travel. We will conduct COVID-19 tests for all arriving travelers from China.
More than half of people arriving from China who were screened at Milan's airport in recent days have tested positive for the virus. The Italian government wants the rest of the European Union to get on board and restrict travel. It cites the lack of information from Beijing about the spread of the virus and possible mutations.
China always believes that all countries' COVID response should be science-based and proportionate. There's no reason at this stage to bring back those measures. The current COVID situation is predictable and under control. Since the beginning, China has always been open and transparent.
Beijing can say that, but it's hard to know when it's no longer mass testing or reporting. The WHO says it needs more information to assess the severity of the situation. To appease some international fears, it appears from early analysis that no new variants have yet emerged from China. Liz Maddock, TRT World.
Well, Dr. Bharat Pankania joins us now live from Bath in the UK. He's a senior clinical lecturer at the University of Exeter Medical School. Thanks very much for joining us on the programme. So China has relaxed its zero COVID policy, but is the timing right on this? Why have they changed course so suddenly now?
I think they caved in to pressure amongst their own population, and perhaps they have gone through their conference season and re-elected President Xi for the third time, and now it was time to suddenly do an about turn. It's very unfortunate that China did a really good job of containing COVID in the first place when we had no vaccines. Thereafter, unfortunately, it has gone wrong with not immunizing its population properly with better for performing vaccines, the mRNA vaccines.
So the UK has just announced that it's joining other countries now, requiring a negative COVID test for any arrivals from China. Are countries taking the right approach on this, do you think?
I don't think so, because the answer should be, what are you looking for in restricting movement of people from China? If that is the case, are you looking for people from India, from Africa, from South America, from other parts of the world? And from what we know, what is in circulation in China is also in circulation in Europe, United Kingdom, United States. So what exactly are you doing when you say we're going to be testing only Chinese travelers to the United Kingdom or other parts of the world? It doesn't make scientific sense.
And some people may fear that we could see a second pandemic emerge globally out of this. How precarious do you think the situation really is?
So it's good to reassure people at the end of this year that I don't think we are heading towards another pandemic because of China's actions. Because The countries that have used these better performing vaccines are in a very good position. People have got immunity, or they've got natural immunity from infection, and they're in a very good place, and we know what to do. And we also know that if we had to suddenly reformulate the mRNA vaccines, we can do so. Therefore, I don't think we're heading towards another pandemic type situation globally. China, on the other hand, has its own problems. The Chinese population are not immune. They haven't been exposed to infections, so they are vulnerable, and their elderly and vulnerable people may become seriously ill. Some of them may die. But that doesn't replicate to Europe, United Kingdom, USA. India, I'm a little bit concerned about.
OK, Dr. Bharat Pankhani, a senior clinical lecturer at University of Exeter Medical School. Thank you very much for coming on the programme.
Thank you.